Hello, welcome. It is not 10:30 a.m. and it is not Sunday. That is the time when I normally stream. And I mentioned on the weekly stream that I do every Sunday morning that I would try and do some UI design stuff on a separate stream. And we're going to do that instead. So I'm realizing now that I only ever stream when there's bright light coming through the side window. So it feels really dark in here. I've got to buy some of those fancy streamer lights that people have. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to do and what we normally do on the Sunday streams, and then what's different about today. So each week on a Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. UK time, we are building an application in Ruby on Rails. In previous streams, we kind of played around with building parts of an application that would allow you to give it a YouTube channel ID or a Twitch channel ID, and it would go off and get videos and kind of build a little mini web page for that Twitch channel or the YouTube channel or something. And we kind of just like messed around. It didn't really ship a real app or anything like that. We just did it to look at Ruby gems, Rails gems, things like that. A few weeks ago, a couple months ago now, we kind of transitioned into looking at building an event ticketing registration application with a focus on group tickets, because it was something I had done previously on another app and was interested in revisiting, because it's a really interesting and complicated, seemingly simple but really actually complicated thing to do. And we took a look at a bunch of other applications, more of which I think we might look at today, like how they work, what's different about them, why they why they have certain features and don't have other features, and things like that. And but we look at it from a code point of view so far. We've just been looking at like the user user interface of kind of like other apps in the same space, but then coming back and trying to like model that out, but on the back end. So like, what does that, how would we do this? And recently we've been looking at how you would have like a more flexible checkout process that would then still turn into an event registration process. So you could have like, I want to buy tickets for this thing, but also t-shirts and charity donations, because the app I used to that worked on was for good causes, so they could run events and take donations. So that's kind of what I'm interested in here. We also started from the administration side of things first. So we were designing and building the back end for the admin, and we're really in the early stages of this. So what happened on that stream was we didn't have a user interface. Like there's nothing to do. And I said, oh, well, we need to design that. And I haven't done anything like that for a little while, but it was something that I used to do some of, I don't know about a lot of. And I used to use Sketch for macOS. And I haven't used that in a little while. My subscription had lapsed just because it's been a long time. Been doing other stuff for day job stuff, and I was like, oh, I'd love to get back into that. Let's kind of figure that out. And I had done a previous stream looking at Figma, which is an alternative, like has an app, but it's like also browser based and things like that. But frankly, this is just like a side project thing that I do, and it was more expensive. So I was like, oh well, Sketch is cheaper, and you get like a month for free with Sketch. So I was like, oh, let's just do that. And plus, I kind of already knew it. So let's dive into it. So what I want to do tonight, I want to take a look at all the stuff that I don't know in Sketch, and what I mean by that is we're using view component on the back end of the Rails application, and I want to kind of see what the component library stuff is like in Sketch, and then we can have a bunch of components that hopefully we can then have like, I don't know about parity, but like a set of components on the back end of the Rails app, but then also the equivalent in Sketch. So maybe we could see how to do variants and stuff like that. So then how drag and droppy can we make the Sketch experience for making new user interfaces that we can then quickly code up, because we've got the same set of components. I don't know if that's a thing, but we can find out together. Yeah, so let's go take a look at what we had. Let's just jump over and start doing some stuff rather than look at my very poorly lit room. So this is what we've got. So we have some some UI. Let's fire this app up. This is admin UI prototype, and we've kind of got this very so this is what we're working with. This is the quality of the UI that we've got so far. So that we grabbed a menu bar thingy from Tailwind CSS, and this is us playing with view component. I say us, me with help from probably very frustrated viewers in the chat. This is helping with view component, and then we've got these kind of like dummy views. Again, this stuff's just all just Tailwind copy and paste stuff from their website, so this isn't real in any way. There's nothing that's kind of ours. But we did talk through the logic of having like the side navigation over here being persistent, and how like we looked at Eventbrite had theirs pop in and out on mobile, but it was always kind of full height all the time. There was others who had really crappy mobile experiences, like mobile web experiences, because the menu for an event application can get really complicated, because by their nature, events just have so much going on. If you're running even a fairly straightforward event for like 100 people, it might be, you know, there's just so much going on, like 4 pages of settings. Each of these might have drop downs that go, you know, you might have a little accordion style thing here, and actually ticket settings is like 5 sub pages. So you've got all that going on. This thing keeps changing height. You've then got the hierarchy that we looked at in a previous stream of the fact that you're in your account, which already belongs to an organization. You then have events that you then like, you want to be able to search and move through all of these individual events. Then when you want to go into them, and then there's a whole other hierarchy here. But also you probably want to go to just your orders or just your attendees and go and look at all of those, rather than going to have to look at a list of events every time. So there's a previous stream in the YouTube channel if you want to go take a look at that. Just Google Sunday Club YouTube or something, you'll find it. And let's turn this into a real UI. So we don't want to use any of the kind of default Tailwind stuff. It's lovely, it's wonderful, but we can. The whole point of kind of this stream is to just mess around and learn some new stuff. Okay, so I've got that open on one screen, so we can kind of see. I think we can kind of rebuild this to start with. Let's start there. Like, let's build our admin area and see what we want to do, like on mobile with these two different things. So I've also got Sketch open. So we'll just start here, I guess, with a blank sketch file. Let me just collapse this down a little bit so we can flick between them a little bit more easily without kind of swiping all the way across. All right, let's just start. I don't know. Let's start with the events. Let's do this page. And I think this one might be easier because we don't need to have a navigation on this. So from the previous stream, when you go to the list of events, it is these are like the 2 highest level navigations, and this was like Eventbrite's pattern. I think other applications did this differently, and I think we'll try and load some of those up during this stream, just so you can kind of take a look at how other applications are doing this. But I like the idea because fundamentally, these are all the 2 things you ever really care about. It's like, I want to manage my events, or I care about orders, which is essentially either the money I'm making or the people that are attending my events. Maybe we would have attendees up here as well, but effectively that comes under orders. So it's like ticket orders basically. And when you're in here, the only navigation you can do is like searching and filtering the events. And then in order to do anything with them, you have to navigate into that event. So you just don't need any or much like sub-level navigation here. You're just going into the event, and that's where this kicks in, because then you just have all of these options, but these are all scoped to that event. So if we start here, I think we'll have a little bit of an easier time. So that's in Rails, that's an index page. We'll just call it events index. So we want to make, I'd love to know, can I change the, like the size here, because on the stream this might get really small. Show fonts. Oh, another thing to mention is I might be streaming. I actually don't know how to check this in a higher resolution, because people had asked about that. And I hope that that's happening. I actually don't know. Just check that the stream is going out. So I'm trying to stream in 1080. I don't know. Oh, I think it's happening. Okay, I'm just viewing it in 1080. Oh, amazing. So people had been requesting that. So if that's a thing you're interested in, I think from now on I'm going to try and do these in 1080. And I didn't realize that I wasn't doing that. So sorry, I did say on the last stream I was going to try and fix that. Hopefully it's working. I have no notion and that it's better for people. Let me know if that is good for people. All right, cool. But I don't think I can. These fonts here on the UI in Sketch are really tiny, but I don't know if I can change that. I think I can zoom the canvas and the thing we're looking at, but I don't know if I can actually make this application bigger. If anyone knows if that's possible in the chat, then let me know. Maybe it's like an accessibility thing. Oh well, okay. So we'll just make the canvases really big. So you'll have to. I mean, these are tiny on my screen, let alone what they're like on the stream. But I don't have a way to. I don't seem to have a way to make them any bigger. No, zoom is just for the canvas. Okay, so apologies for that. If you're like, hey, I can't read any of that stuff. Me either. Document settings. Sorry, I'm just going to take a look around because I know how annoying it is when you're on a. No, that's for the actual document. Preferences. No. No, just skimming through these. These are all about like just the stuff. No, okay. Okay, fine. Let's just do this thing. Let's just do this thing. Then we can zoom in. So we want to create an artboard. Let's start on mobile first. And let's have this one. This can be our. Well, maybe to see if the component stuff is easier, why don't we see if we can do the mobile and the desktop at the same time? Okay. So let's draw some stuff on the screen. Let's just start working top to bottom. We're not going to worry too much about what we're doing. Let's just try and have a menu bar to start with. So I don't know where it's getting its defaults from. Well, the one that you get with Tailwind, the one that we actually had in that Firefox UI is like really dark. Which I kind of like. Do you remember Bootstrap used to have that jet black one across the top? That was probably a bit too dark. And what we're another thing to mention while I'm just kind of starting this is on the Sunday stream, I regularly mentioned that normally you would have like a plan or like do things professionally or like, you know, aim to do things correctly. That is not what this stream is about. If that's what you're here for, you are gonna be disappointed. So we don't have any like brand colors, logo, fonts, anything like that set up already. We're just gonna fly blind for a little while and see what happens. I actually really like the idea of that not being dark all of a sudden. So we're just gonna wing this for a little bit. And that's okay. We don't have to worry too much about that. We just have that as white, but just with a drop shadow. Is that cool? Because it's just going to be, I guess, sticky at the top. Okay, so we don't really, again, yeah, so just carrying on that thought, there's no, there's nothing that we're kind of following here as a set of brand guidelines or anything like that. So how... So I wonder if we make it so that, like, because we're in our admin area here, remember, if we say that there are only ever like these 2 highest level navigation items in the admin area, I wonder if you could always just leave them up there on mobile rather than having any kind of toggle for them. That would be pretty cool. So you could have... The other thing I'm thinking about is, like, let's say that we want to have the same thing on desktop. So we want to kind of keep this type of experience across both. So we might change like the height of that nav bar, but other than that, we might just leave it the same. How similar are the things in it going to be? Like, could they be a shared component? Probably not, I would guess. Although... possibly, because one of the things I want to play with is like Sketch, when I just dropped kind of out of using it as much, had all these new like the components got like smarter layout features, and I know that Figma has a bunch of this stuff too, where it's borderline responsive design but within the UI design. So as you resize the component, the kind of elements within it know how to reorder themselves and do stuff. But I think we might want this to be fundamentally different. So maybe the things inside the nav bar are components grouped by the fact that they live in the site nav bar. But other than that, maybe they're actually 2 separate ones. And what do I mean by that? Let's see what I mean by that. Let's go into the mobile one first and kind of start drawing some stuff. So let's say we're going to want a logo of some sort. This can be our dummy logo. We can just put a nice little gray box there. We'll come back and add some stuff. We're just working out. So that can be our logo. Then, oh yeah, maybe like, could we have actual events as one? I'm not saying this is a good idea or anything, but like, oh, the other thing I've forgotten to play, I forgotten to play with is that Sketch used to have this app called Mirror. I'm gonna check out my phone while we're doing this, and I can show you what it looks like. Go to the App Store real quick. But it would, no, that's Apple Store. App Store, here we go. It would basically let you Mirror app. Oh, okay. There are loads of apps called Mirror. Mirror app Sketch. It would let you see on your actual device the, here it goes. Like at live as you were changing it. So like you could have a really zoomed in version on your screen like the one we've got there, but you could also connect to Max's phone. That's me. Oh, okay, so it's working. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, probably not. Oh, there you go. Okay, if I tilt the screen. So as I move stuff, I'm going to try and move this. If I move this, can you see that it's, oh, sorry, it looks really crappy. Hang on, let me jump back to the other view. The one here. Too bright, I think. There we go. I genuinely can't figure. Okay, there's events, and then as I move it in Sketch, I move it down. A few seconds later, you'll see that it changes, and so you get this live view in the Mirror app, and then it really feels like it feels, you know, like you're using like the app is, or the website or whatever it is you're building is on the device. So you get a much different feel with this huge zoomed version, because you can see it. And I'm going to leave that on the side next to me so I can pay attention to it and see. You just kind of get a vibe. And the other one that we had here, again, this was the kind of like the Eventbrite style, was to have orders and whether these could be persistent or whether you would need a drop down or something like that. Again, super rough to start with. We don't really, not adding any polish or anything like that. We're just going to work out what we need. And from our Firefox one, we've also got a little notifications bell and a face of some person. It came with Tailwind, so we could do the same thing. I actually have, do I have the app installed? If not, we could, no, I have a noun project account. Let me just go and check that my account is active and I've paid my subscription. I think it's like set to auto renew, so I'm hoping I'm just going to do this on the other screen just real quick. I've got to do a Google Capture on the other screen and log in. Great. Okay. So there's a Mac app somewhere. So I think that I'm just checking that yep, cool. My account is active. So can I have Mac app? Now project for Mac. So you can basically drag the icon. So Noun Project is an icon library, and you pay for a license to use the icons in it. But they have an app that I have not reinstalled since sorting my laptop out. And you can, I'm just doing this on the other screen, so apologies for this. It's just getting set up. And then you can use those. Noun project, here we go. I just probably have to sign in, so bear with me. Connect to my account. Log in, allow this page. Great, okay, cool. So now we have notification. Then we can search. And we'll have a little bell as well. I think it might be the same one. Is it the same one? If it's not, it's incredibly similar. And has that come over as a SVG? Yeah, okay, great. So we can lock that and hopefully... oh. Okay, is that me resizing that, screwing that up? Is there a better way to resize those so they don't go all screwy? I get the feeling that's not the answer to that. Is it that I can... do it in here first? No? How do I resize this without it going all screwy? Do I not do that? I don't really want to lose a bunch of time on this. Oh, okay, that's better. Not doing it by dragging it seems to be a better answer. Cool. So that, and we can just make that a bit lighter because we don't care about. I don't even know if we need this, but I'm just grabbing it because it was on the Tailwind version that we had. Okay. Just gonna open this. I'm really regretting not having a snack before starting this. And I've had way too much caffeine today. And we can also have, well, let's keep going with the same idea. If we have a little shape oval thing like this, and I think in here, I think this had come in by the time I stopped using it, but you could have a fill that was an image, and you could go and get that image from like Unsplash. So we want person smile. I don't really want a child. Can I? Oh, I'd have to do that every time? That's actually pretty realistic. People always have pictures of... Nope. Okay, that's a fairly innocuous photo. Wonder what resolution that comes in at. So if I blow this up... It doesn't suddenly... Okay, fair enough. Okay, so why am I doing that? It's because I want to see if those are the components that we want on the desktop version as well. So let's say that we have, because then we can start looking at what's a component and what's not, and then we can care about what they actually look like. So let's say we probably want logo as well. And this is just the default grid, I think. You can change the grid settings in somewhere. You can change the grid settings in here. Oh no, that's that grid. That's not the same grid. What I meant was the layout settings. Yeah, okay. So you can then have total width. You probably want wider than 960. Probably something. Well, you can look at whatever grid system you want to use. It was like 1020, 1080 became like a thing. So you center that 20 and 60. But you can center that on the into the grid on the canvas, right? I keep saying grid, but I mean layout. There we go. Center there. Cool. So, I mean, we'll come back to that and figure it out later. That's just to help you. Like if you have a grid system built into like Bootstrap used to have one, you can match it in Sketch. And then it makes your UI design sort of match the CSS classes you might be using. Maybe you don't have one, and you have spacing stuff instead. But this will just help us set this stuff up. So again, like the Eventbrite one just has these kind of like two items here. Then we can just move these ones over. And how far apart would they actually be? Right over here, potentially. And let's actually go into, I'm just going to log into it on the other screen. Just give me 2 seconds because we had an account that we set up on Eventbrite for this just to explore the user experience. So I can sign into it. But I have a apparently. I definitely okay. Here we go. Here it is. Sorry. Okay. For some reason, that's not showing up in my 1Password, but it is in my 1Password. So, it's because I'm on eventbrite.co.uk, not .com, which is where I signed up. I'm going to edit that now so that doesn't happen next time. I'm going to put that in my 1Password at eventbrite.com and .co.uk. So bear with me, I'm just on the other screen for a second. Okay, cool. So we're zoomed in, let's zoom back out. So we can go and look at manage my events. This is the kind of UI. So, okay, they have got marketing as well. Then they've got help on theirs, and then they've got kind of the picture-y thing. They don't have a notification doodad on there, but they could do if they wanted to. So loads of room, and all they do on mobile is collapse the words down to icons. I'm not even sure they would need to do that. That's, I guess, just a visual thing. Because it's going to get really cramped on there, annoyingly. But super sparse compared to a lot of other applications. I would imagine they have a few other add-on products that it wouldn't surprise me if like a couple more get added on here if you are like a super fancy user. Let's go and see what some of the other ones had. I think like Ticket Tailor we used as well. So I'm just gonna bear with me for a second because I don't really want. I haven't set my 1Password up properly on these browsers, and I just want to turn off the account suggestions. Bear with me. Okay, so I think that's what I'm looking for. Oh, I'm already logged in. Amazing. Okay, and what was the other one? We had like event create, I think was one. Yeah, event create. Am I already logged in there as well? Yeah, okay, cool. So this is, I mean, they've gone for a side nav all in. They've got that little intercom doodad over here as well. We've got events, calendars, collaborators, and integrations. Whereas where do those things happen in Eventbrite? So I'm guessing they're maybe like in organization settings. Take a look. I'm deliberately not zooming in on these, by the way, just to kind of give you a more realistic expectation. So they've got apps. Yeah, that's all. That kind of stuff is under the organization. Again, this goes back to some of the stuff we were talking about on the other stream when we're looking at the actual technical design of these things, like the hierarchy of do you own these events, or does the organization that you are associated with them own them? Like at what level does that type of thing happen? So this has like integrations. Are they integrations just for you? What happens if you're a member of multiple organizations running events? So like if in Eventbrite you're part of 2 different organizations, all of that fun stuff. So if you're interested in the coding side of that stuff, make sure you check out the streams on Sunday mornings, or just take a look back through the YouTube channel. So other than that, they've got a super sparse events. So nothing on the header, really clean there. Right, so this is ticket. What are they doing? I guess on mobile, they don't need to do anything because that's already collapsed down to the left. Oh, okay, they swap it down to the bottom. Where does the little where does my account stuff go? On mobile. can't sign out all of a sudden? Because I've lost a bunch of function. I've lost a bunch of functionality on mobile that I had when I had a side menu. And that's one of the downsides of responsive design, where you lose some stuff. You've got upgrade now, help center, and log out, and a bunch of other options. And they go on narrow viewports. So you, oh, no, they are, oh. No, they're there. Oh, it's broken. Oh, no. Let me refresh this. Oh, no. There's still, something's happening. Okay, I don't think that works too well. I think they're in there somewhere, but something has happened. This is, I mean, this is already a good example of how hard how hard this is all the time. Like, these companies are pretty big, and it's hard to get this stuff right. So let's see what Ticketeller do. So here we've got overview, events, orders, promote, and settings. And as we clap this down, they give us a drop down. Okay, so that's nice and straightforward. Like, it's the same list, just... yeah. And so we just switch to, like, and so we go into events, and click on an event. We have a side nav here. Oops. So we have a side nav, and on mobile, they've gone for the kind of the same approach. Well, rather than the drop down, it's a pop over, but you get the whole menu. What do event create do? So in, oh, I think we looked at this one. So they have this fancy, oh, this one, I think you lose options as well. The options change, I think. Yeah, we looked at this one on the weekly stream. This one's really confusing because here you have a menu with a bunch of items in. And if you were to be on because it's done on viewport size, I think if you were like using it landscape, you would have this menu. Then you would turn it portrait and have this menu at the top, but they're different options. And you, like, things get grouped differently, and that's like, that can be really confusing. So, and you've still lost your little man down at the bottom. But help center is still there if you hover over it. I don't know. Mobile design's hard. Okay, cool. So I think we can kind of take, oh, this is our Tailwind menu. This is on our prototype. This is just because we copied it over from Tailwind. So we can have kind of the same approach. So we could have more items here if we wanted to, but we could... I think I would fall back to what I've done in the past, which is basically just make this a toggle and just do what, which one was it? Do what these guys have done, which is on mobile, just flip everything to a toggle every time. Because if you're showing, you could do the events, you could do the icon thing as well, I guess, because you've only got 3. But I just... at that level of hierarchy, I don't know how much of a hassle it is to force them to click versus, so here you lose clarity. Like, it's fine if you know what those icons represent, but you lose the word. So here it's events, orders, and marketing. Great. But here you just have 3 icons, so you have to know what they do. And then you get the sub navigation there if you're in a sub item. They save themselves having toggle top, toggle middle, or like, so like one level of hierarchy here and then another one here. But there's no right answers to any of that. So let's say that we don't have this. So like, here's my thinking. Like, where's noun gone? Let's say we have like one of those little menu thingies that are always pretty random. Let's have a nice one with curvy things because that's a bit nicer. And we can set that to be the same gray as this thing. Okay, so let's say that we oops. Oop. Okay, so let's say that we had this here. And this wasn't here at all. And you had to press them, and or maybe maybe you had this was a bit smaller. But it had the word menu next to it. Oh no, something like this. I've done this kind of thing before. So, okay, so now here you have menus. So this is your highest level menu. But let's say you're now inside an event. You've clicked the event name and you've gone in to manage it. You need another one of these because you've got another menu. So like here on this one, I'll make this a bit bigger. That might be more visible. So here is the normal desktop view. They've got ones across the top, great, and then ones down the side. Loads of room, cool. You drop to here, and now you've got this toggle for the high menu, and then this one. They've used different symbols. So here they've used the burger, and here they've used the is that carrot or whatever it's called? Like, I don't know what that is. And I think I'm glad that they've used two different ones, and I think I would do the same thing. So potentially we could do that there. Oops. And that actually works well here, I think, because this one is going down. Like it, I mean, it would actually be cool if that little arrow switched when you toggled it. And this one is a longer list, but it does pop up from the side. So like theoretically, they're more representative of what's happening there. Like that does kind of make some sense. So I'm kind of into that one. And then you can keep. So you can kind of keep. What is this actual color? Again, I'm just grabbing these randomly. We're not worried about fidelity or anything like that right now. We're just making some early guesses. Why is that one? Are these not? Oh, did I not copy that correctly? A2. And that one is also A2. Why is it so much darker? Is it darker or does it just look darker? So I can just make it lighter anyway, because we just want it to look right for now. Okay, so that kind of gives you the impression of like a little toggleable thing. And that kind of looks stupid on the big screen like that, but actually in my hand on the stupid thing. It will only let me click in the I guess you can even still just make all of these, like this entire box could be the could be the clickable unit. And that could bring down your little notification doodad. Again, I don't know if that is even a thing that we need. And then you've got your little user doodad there. And this could maybe be your organization switcher as well. So maybe that could be maybe that could be the logo of the organization you're in. Or you could do the thing where like you could have your logo, but then, oops. So that one's in the middle all the way. Yeah. So one goes like that. And it could be the other way around, I guess. And you could have like your company logo. And when you tap on this area here, like this one, we could swap out for, I don't think Unsplash would have logos, but we could, see what it'll give us. Nope. Is there like a UI where we can actually, if I don't put the insert data at random, will it show me a UI where it'll let me pick? No. So what does that insert data at random option do? That one looks terrifying. There's a tooth in it. I just see what shows up. I was kind of looking for like the. We could actually grab a logo from somewhere. What any of these are? What does sketch data have in it? Faces and tiles. Oh, there's one for faces. Oh, okay. Well, I've already got that from the other one now. What does tiles have? Okay, this could be some company's logo. Like a nice colorful one. There you go. That's a nice one. So that could be our user and account switcher here. So that could be pretty cool. So I don't know how that would work on desktop. So on desktop, remember, so on our left, we've got our mobile view. The menu that's here, event orders and whatever else we had there, is abstracted away on mobile, but jumps over to here next to our logo. Is that something that we want? Is that what the others had? They had logo top left. Oh yeah, I guess that's the thing people expect. Fair enough. So a nice little small logo doodad. And so menu is there. Notification bar stays there. And then you could keep the same little double icon. I don't really think I've ever really seen that. Normally you can, maybe it would just be the user, and then when you tap on it, the menu that popped down would be like it's your account, but you have organization X and organization Y. Which one do you want to be in? But that is at least a handy way of like showing them which one they're in. Maybe it sucks. Don't know. I guess how many logos would actually be clear at that kind of size on mobile anyway? Probably not that many. Right, so how does that work in terms of making these components that we can reuse between the two? Or do we just have one component that's the mobile navigation, because I'm assuming that there isn't an interim one. This just scales up to like, I don't know, 6, 7, 800 pixels or something like that. And these just move across and there's just space to the left. And you've maybe got room if you want to have like search. You can have one, maybe two more buttons there if you push. And then at a certain point, when your viewport gets wide enough, you're just jumping to this, where you have them as text. Maybe the text size changes or adjusts, but then you're just making a call as to what's text on the left and what's an icon on the right. Maybe you keep the bars, but I don't know if you need them on desktop. Like you could keep, where's that grid gone? I don't know. You would do it more evenly, I guess. I just don't think you need it on because you've got so much more room on desktop to play with. I mean, these are all pretty small still. So I mean, you could really make these bigger. I know you don't want to lose too much screen real estate to the nav bar, but it is pretty important. So like on Tailwind, what's the default size of this? It is 64 pixels. And what have we got? Oh, 60. We've got 4 pixels to play with compared to the Tailwind one. But that feels fine. You just don't need to lose too much. Can you read it? Can you click it? Yep, you're good. So maybe if you kept these, you could have them as really just even more faint, like just there to indicate there's something tappable, and then spread them out a bit more. This is all aesthetics, which is now not as interesting because we would just want to know how this works, not whether we like fancy spacing or whatever. Stupid thing. Maybe you could keep them. I just don't know if you need them. At least there you could start it inset and you would have something visual that would indicate the edge of the, like presumably you'd have stuff on the right that butted up to this. So you get like a nice visual straight line down. Okay, so let's get back to the question I was trying to answer, which is what's a component of this? I think they're just two separate components which share some components. Or symbols, sorry. Like, I guess symbols is the right word in Sketch. Let's just try this. So like I guess this is shared. So this is our logo, which we don't have, but we know we need one. So, or like the name of the thing. So I have got a name, but I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. So we can do create symbol. Selected layers will be replaced by a single layer. A new symbol will be created in your document. Whenever this symbol is edited, all its layers will update to reflect the changes. If you select a layout option, instance of this symbol will resize when you edit the overrides. Send symbols to symbols page. So is this logo or is this site nav logo? I feel like this is like What is let's try and do some standardization. So what is so there's nothing. So we're looking at Tailwind. It's like some people call this site nav or like header nav, all those fun things. So browse everything, application UI, page headings, page heading nav. Because even then it's not the site nav, is it? It's the admin nav, because we're not a normal user. We're doing the admin area. So it's admin primary nav, admin top nav. Admin. Yeah, so this is some of the stuff we looked at on the weekend, the Sunday morning streams, which is like when to go from that layout on the top horizontally to vertically down the left, and the kind of the pros and cons. Here we've got multi-column layouts, like pros and cons of those as well. Okay, let's not overthink this. Let's just maybe we could do it with the view component name. So this could be admin top level nav, admin primary nav, admin site nav. That's the shortest. I bet there's like really good UI libraries that have good names for this stuff. Let's just go with that for now. And I think so. What I remember from this is that if you put a slash in the name of the symbol, you would have you would then have your components grouped like that, which it doesn't mention on here, so I might not be getting that right. So I'm going to create that. So now when I go to here, I want this to be an instance of that symbol instead. Can I swap it out, or do I? I know I can do. So if I do insert symbol, does that swap it? No, I just get a new layer. Okay, that's fine. So that can go there. And I can take out the original, which is just a rectangle. So now, when I click on this box, I've got it on my desktop and I've got it on my mobile layouts. And I can... So some stuff is in the styling of... I can add a tint. Okay, so is that for all instances or just that instance? So that's just that instance. That one's gone dark. But it's not affecting the actual symbol. Okay. I'm guessing that's so you can do cool tint supply. Sorry, I just clicked on that question mark and it loaded up another page for the sketch docs. Tints apply a single color to an entire group or symbol. Unlike fills, tints respect semi-filled elements, blah, 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 blah. How to apply a tint. How to use tints as overrides. Okay, so presumably that's for places where they're indicating color as some sort of state. And you don't then have to bother having, I guess, an entire another set of variants. I'm guessing, totally guessing there, but that seems fine. So we don't need that, so we can bin that off. And if we want to edit this, so we can go to here, don't have any overrides on it, because it is just a box, we don't care. We can go and edit the source, and now we are in our symbols page. We can do adjust content on resize, and we can also change... So I guess we do you want to adjust the content on the resize? and resize the symbol vertically or horizontally when editing overrides. So I guess we would want none of those, because in here is probably like a fixed SVG or something like that. Like it'll just be a logo or a word or whatever it is. We don't want it to change its layout. It's the logo. Don't mess with it. It's not like a complicated set of things. That's fine. Okay. Cool. So we then go back here. Let's do, I guess this alone is worth making a symbol, because we're not making these we're not sure these lines are going to exist. Like, is this the symbol, this thing here? I really need my little pen thingy, but do it with a mouse. So is just the bell icon the symbol, or is it the line, and the bell symbol? And then when you resize it, these would like move. Maybe the spacing would do stuff as well. But these are different color on the desktop one. So I think just the icon, because remember, because we're nesting it, the entire thing will then, so this is a symbol, and then we're going to make the entire thing a symbol. So all we care about is that if we change the mobile one, all the mobile designs change. If we change the desktop one, all the desktop designs change. But we don't really care that like the lines and stuff are included in the symbol, I don't think. So let's give this a try. So I don't know if I'm doing this right. So let's try create symbol. Because we could make the icon, a symbol, and then presumably wrap that in a symbol called notification icon. Because we could have that, and that could include an icon called bell in case, and then we could just swap out bell for, I don't know, something else, like bell with circle or something like that. Is that a thing that we could do now? So we go into this, edit this source, go into here, create symbol for that, icons, bell. That contains that symbol. But then we could have a version of this. Again, I'm kind of just... oh no, you could keep the bell. There. That would be this one you would duplicate. And this one would become notification icon with badge, which is what iOS calls it. And then in here, I don't know, I'm just making stuff up now, but you could add in a little... like a not scary red. Okay. And then why am I doing this? Because when we go back to our page here, we have this one, which is icons, that symbol, but presumably we can also do that. And so then we can change the symbol out pretty easily for when we want to play around with stuff. I think that's kind of the idea. I So if we then call this whole thing, so let's have that, the logo there, this thing here, and the rectangle, all of that we want to turn into a symbol. And we're going to call it, that can be admin top level nav. How does that work? If you and don't have, so in here, you can then, you can then swap out these sub icons. So that's pretty cool. So then you're still within the admin top level nav, but you can swap out individual things as long as they're symbols. I mean, you could then potentially swap it out for a different icon. So if we had this thing, we stored as a symbol as well. But this was icons. These things are always called menu stack. I don't know what those things are always called. Burger menu, hamburger menus, or something stupid. So here we could. So we go. We could do it at any level. I'm assuming. So again, back on our admin top level nav component symbol. Here we could swap it out for this one with the badge. What happens if we swap this out? Whoa, that's kind of crazy. So you would need to make sure that all your icons and the stuff that use them with the same aspect ratio, which is fair enough. But that has kept the badge the same. But you can change individual. So then we could do notification icon, menu stack. So what happens if I now move that to that? Whoa, that's. Oh, you've really got to hold a lot. Can I then just reset all the overrides? So if I go menu stack with badge, I've changed this symbol here and this symbol here. By the way, I know that this is annoying because I'm looking at the stream and I can see how tiny these UI components are. I don't think I can change those, so I don't know what to do about that. I do apologize for that. So hopefully you can kind of get the gist of what I'm doing if it's useful. So then I can hit this thing here. I'm guessing reset overrides. Boom, and I'm back to where I started, and then I can change these out. That's super powerful. Oh man, you could really. I'm guessing that you don't want to go like if you're doing all of those overrides, you really are then relying on your symbols to be like the aspect ratio of this one being screwed up. Like you'd be like, okay, well, everything in icons has to be the same aspect ratio or have an up. Is the artboard the same, different size there? Let's go and see if we can fix that. So let's go to symbols. So this one is 20 by 23. And where's the other one? This one over here. Oops. I want to move the whole thing. So that's 20 by 23, and this is 26 by 20. So you could kind of say, I mean, again, you'd probably have like icons dash small, I would guess. I don't know, maybe because they're SVGs, you wouldn't care. You'd have them all larger and scale them down. Don't know. But you could make all of the... How would you do it? I guess maybe on the center. So you could say that the artboard was 30 by 30 and the symbol is in the middle. There. And then this one is 30 by 30. Again, I don't know if this is a good idea. Oh, and I guess you'd have to deal with the resizing stuff as well. Oh man, there's a lot to think about with this stuff. Been a while, been a long time. And the badge just arbitrarily lives there. I'm aware that you wouldn't do this because you would have a badge for each icon and all that stuff. Like, I'm not suggesting we do this, but let's say that they're now of the same artboard size. So I'm hoping that when you swap them out, so let's go back here and reset these over these things here. And can you... like a, is that now 30 by 30? Reset override. I want to reset. Oh, that. Oh, do you have to reset the override at every level? So is this now the correct size? Just looking at that set to original size option. It's not on there. That's 20 by... That's 20 by 22. Oh, okay. So it now doesn't look as squished when I'm swapping those out. So something has worked. So we go back to this. And swap this out. Cool. Okay. So you'd need to keep all the artboards, and then if I reset that, then I can also do this one with the badge. Oh, no, shit. That one hasn't worked. That one is now squished. Why? Oh, was it only the one with the badge I swapped? And the symbols page. Right, okay. And that uses icons bell. And icons bell isn't on a 30 by 30. You have to make sure they're all done. So that's then changing that one, I see. So then this should be like that. And what is this? This is... I don't even know what this one is. This is icons bell. What's that? This is icons bell. Oh, and that's notification icon. So that's the actual... This is blowing my mind. That's the actual one from the set to original size. Right, so that's what's been resized down. But it should always be the same. Okay, I think I'm getting to where I understand something about this. Right, so now, no idea. So now, we go, oh no, we're gonna go back to this. Right, this is all messed up. So we wanna do set to original size on a bunch of these. I don't know how to do that though. These are all fucked up sizes now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we've done all the resets. Okay, so this is now menu stack. This one with badge. No, shit. Still the wrong size. Okay, maybe making them all the same artboard size doesn't make a fucking difference. Maybe I'm not sure making any sense here anyway. Show same size symbols only. Oh, okay. Well, there's an option there to only show ones that are the same size. Oh, now they're all squished. Now they're all squished. But I can't seem to... I'm looking at that set. This option here is set to original size, which I can't see. I drag another one of it. Oh, no. Okay, so that one sets it to the right size. That one sets it to the right size. Okay, cool. So those two are fine. So we can leave those ones in. Here. We've got navigation icon. Ah, and it's the one with... Okay, so when you're showing... Right, so it's the one with badge is the wrong size. Ah, that's super helpful. That little... So this option here is show same size symbols only. So that's That's how you know you can swap it in and out. So that tells me that this is the wrong one. And this is the one that needs setting to original size. Right. Hello in chat. Smash highlights. FYI, I think you set the source bell icon to 20 by 20 because the aspect was locked. Probably not the issue though. Okay. So with the aspect ratio, there's like when you set the width and height, you can set the little padlocky thing here, and it ties the width and the relationship between the width and the height icons. And so I've done that on. I have not kept track of which ones I've locked, so I could easily have screwed those up. So I've just resized this one because it seemed to be the one that was the issue there. Let's jump back because it wasn't showing up when it said only show the same size things. So in here, I don't have a reset anymore. So presumably, so now if I do show same size symbols only, notification icon and notification icon with badge are still different. Notification icon and notification icon with badge are still different. There's notification icon. It's that one. Okay. Right. Okay. So this should be the same size as that. Fuck, I'm totally screwing this up. Okay. Right. Whereas I was thinking it should be the same size as the other one. Okay. So that's 20 by 23 arbitrarily for no reason that I understand. And that one's 30 by 30? Why the fuck are they different? Okay, so let's just make them both 30 by 30 as long as the things... Right, is this now way too big? Is that the problem? Okay, so let's try that again. And now I've got all of them with the same artboard size, I think. And go back to here. Okay, it's the wrong size, but I think it's here now. Yes. Boom. Okay, amazing. Because remember, we're still nested inside this admin top level nav one. So now I think we can swap that out. Okay, the badge is in the wrong place, but that's just because that stupid badge is like stupid. We wouldn't do this. Now we can swap them all out all of the time. And they should all be the correct aspect ratio. Maybe they're not the right size, but because we didn't pick a size, but they're the correct aspect ratio, which is amazing. And this little show same size symbols only, if we had shitloads of them, we would only see the ones that we should be picking, which is super helpful. This is a really contrived example of that. But you could imagine that being really helpful for like, well, we're going to do, let's do a sidebar nav, like carry on with this. And I can imagine it being super helpful there. So let's just set that back because that thing looks stupid with that badge in the middle, but amazing. Like that, I wanted to do this stream to learn more about Sketch and its new stuff. And I think when I stopped using it, they did have symbol overrides, but they were not they were not amazing. And I can't remember why. Like there definitely wasn't a do the thing with the same size, like only allow same size ones, because that's maybe there was and I just didn't know it was there. But this seems really helpful and incredibly powerful because we're only like, I don't know how nested can you go there? Like, does this just get crazy long when you have symbols inside symbols? That sounds like a really bad idea, but you could do it. You could do it. So why were we grouping these things together in the first place anyway? Because we're saying that this is admin top level nav. And it's not, it's the mobile version of that. So it's actual, how does it respond to this? Let's just swap them. Because we then go and do this on all of them. So we've then got the, Oh, I've just changed that. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So I've just changed that here. But am I just changing the name of that instance? I'm not actually changing the name of the symbol. Okay, interesting. So on the left-hand side, I have this symbol thing, this line that represents the symbol in the document, and I've changed its name, but that has not changed the name of the symbol. So I'm assuming if I go into here and do that, so if I copy it, I think I did it, but I should grab it anyway. So I'll copy this, then go into the symbols and change it here. Right, now that's changed there. Oh, okay, cool. Over here on the right-hand side, we have manage overrides. So we can actually specify what we are willing to allow documents to override. So we could say you can't change some of this stuff. That's super helpful as well. Okay, so now we know that this is the navigation for mobile. Maybe we wouldn't have it in a little in a subfolder like that, because now it's at the same level as its own subcomponents, which probably isn't ideal. I don't know, maybe, but let's chuck some more stuff in there. We go back to this. We've got below it this thing, which we can. So if I delete that. That one's now purple. What does purple mean? Does it mean it's got overrides or something? No, it's still purple. Oh, is purple just like the top level one? And orange is the thing I just didn't notice earlier that it was purple? Hello, people in the chat. Hello. So I don't know why this one's purple, but I'm assuming it's because it's top level. So let's turn... grab this thing. This can live within mobile, I guess. Like, how many of these are mobile specific? This and this. Create a new symbol here. This can do this, and this can be menu toggle. Just make this stuff up. Cool. So now we have a symbol for that. We actually don't want it in this document. We want it in here. Symbols, this document, admin top level, mobile, menu toggle. Like that. And I wonder how people like, my memory of this was that the symbols document would get really disorganized because these just kind of get chucked in places. I wonder if people actually go through and like group them all on the symbols document. So now we've got two. We don't need this one because it's now in our component. And let's do this one as well. So we can make a symbol for this. And this is going to be user org avatars. Cool. And we'll do the same thing. I don't no idea if I'm doing this in the most efficient way, but I'm not too worried about that. Add a symbol. Add the user org avatars. Again, I've put those in mobile, but actually that's pretty stupid because they can probably be the same on the desktop and the mobile view. Don't know. Okay, so that one can go there. Back to the page. This one can go. These lines can just come as is to here. Okay, so now we have this symbol. Back to our page. We have nothing else. Oh, we've got this little thing here, but we don't care about that right now. And then this can live back up here, and it's now a symbol. So if we make a new page, we can use this as our header. Super cool. Okay, so we want to make it resized correctly. So let's have another artboard. See how we can do this. And let's have there's like super big phones. Get iPhone 12 Pro Max. So we probably still want our mobile view, but we want it wider. So let's use the same symbol. Right. So at the moment, that just stretches like that. And my memory is that we can tell the symbol how to resize and be super cool. So I don't know if adjust content on resize is the same as layout. But I think for each one of these, you can basically tell it where to lock itself. So what do I mean by that? So in here, we've got a rectangle that's going to run across the top of the screen. This thing, the logo, is always going to stay in the top left. No, it's going to stay centered towards the left. So this little grid here, again, I'm really sorry on the screen. I don't think I can make the stuff any bigger. But now apparently I am streaming at higher resolution, so you can maybe watch it on a bigger screen. I don't know how good that is. So when you resize it, I think what it will do is it will change. We actually don't want to change the height of this. Can we say this can't get taller? So we can only allow people to resize it horizontally. Can we lock it? Layout none, layout horizontal, layout vertical. Resize the symbol from right to left when editing overrides. So I'm not sure I know exactly what that's going to do. Let's leave that for now. So this logo I think is going to get locked. So this little resize, the pin to edge. So I want to pin it to I think I want to pin it to the top, the left, and the bottom. And there's like a little preview on the right. It's kind of gluing itself there. I don't know what will happen if I actually. Oh, okay. And it's actually resizing, which I'm not sure whether I want it to do. I don't think I do. So I think we can go back onto that thing and tell itself fix size. I can do horizontal. I can only do horizontal. Is that because this thing is set to horizontal? What happens if I set that to vertical? Can I now only do this vertically? No. Okay, interesting. So I can only fix its width. So what happens if I now resize this? It will, it's because I've pinned it to the top and, okay, right. So if I don't pin it to the top and bottom, I can fix its height, but it will stay centered. So now if I resize this, again, I don't actually want people to be able to do this, but it will get wider. I don't think I want it to get wider either because it's the logo. I think I want it to fix the width and height. So I think I want it to do this. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Well, that's fine. So this I want to pin to the left edge. And I want it to stay. I want everything to stay fixed size, I think, because I don't want anything to move. This I want to pin to. I want to pin it to this thing. Can I do that? What's this thing? Oh, hang on. Okay, don't know what to do there. Can I basically want to say when this thing moves this thing with it. There's a bar here to do that. So like, this is cool. I want that. What happens if, let's move this one out of the way. So what happens if we so what happens if we resize this now? Weird stuff. Okay, so everything in here should be fixed width. Fixed size, sorry. I don't want it to change size. I do want that to always be top to bottom. But I never want it to get wider. So top, bottom. Okay. This is kind of like, I guess this is... Man, those are hard to click. Okay, so now nothing should change size. Okay, so now it's just the spacing. So how do I prevent that space from getting too wide? So what is this? That's pinned to the top. All of this stuff. I mean, I'm guessing I just group all of that and tell the group not to move. Right, okay. Okay, so they can just be fixed width. What happens if I want them to actually... I'm going to pin that to the left then. Okay, that seems a bit more reasonable, I think. I'm not quite sure. I don't think I'm using this properly. I don't really know what's happening there, but I think that says this is like layout. That says when editing overrides, so I don't think I'm doing that when I'm resizing this stuff. Okay, so let's say now we want to go back here. So now when we move this over to here, now we're fine. Like we can go as far as we want, and this will always behave correctly. That's cool. And again, we could have like an extra, like we were talking earlier about whether the gray line would be part of the icon, but now that we've seen that we can do those overrides per, oh, this is cool. So you can actually change the image as an override as well. So can I do, it's doing choose image. I don't want that. I want to choose more random. Ah, okay. Wow. So here I could do faces. Okay, very cool. Then I can reset that and go back. Wow. Okay, amazing. Wait, so what happened there? I reset it and it changed size. So let me just pin that to there. So this is right with there. Here, I go into here. Why is it not letting me do that now? Oh, I don't have... Why is that not working now? This one? Oh, here we go. Faces. Picks a face. Different face. Okay. And that didn't change size. I must have done something else. So now, just for that instance, I've got this face and not the other one. And I can always do reset, and I can also change it to the notification with the bell. And that one changed size as well. That just adjusted it. Right, shit. Why is it doing that? I'm losing a few pixels on that change. Is it because... this one isn't fixed in the same way? So if we go into here and edit this, when I go to this, so that group is locked. That is fixed size. That's fixed size. That's fixed size. Okay, so I'm going to layout none. And for this one, layout none. Does this still work in the same way? Maybe it's like the auto. Right, yeah, maybe it was the fancy options they gave me for so set to original size. What's this? Set to original size. Oh, I didn't even realize I hadn't, the original size wasn't the smallest one. Okay, fine. Because that doesn't matter. It's cool. So now let's reset this. So let's zoom back in here. So okay, so set to original size. let's just make this the right size for what we want, which is 428. Is that right? Yeah, apparently. So 428. Then we're going to override this thing again. So we go in here, give it a different face. Right, so when you're doing the overrides, you have to remember the layout setting you had. Because if you turn the layout on, doing an override will adjust the overall, potentially the overall size of the component symbol. Okay, that's super useful to know. Okay, so this is amazing. Like, genuinely have kind of missed this all a little bit. Plus, is it like this is way better than what I used to do a bunch of this crap by hand, so it's like way better. So what are we looking at on Ticket Tailor over here? So if you remember, we are doing something for a ticketing app. So they had this, and then they popped it to the left of the main heading on the page. That's how you get to it. What did Eventbrite do? They have an entire bar for it, which I have to say I prefer. You lose a lot of screen real estate there, but it's way more obvious. So let's steal our own background rectangle-y thing, which we could, I'm guessing we could make a style, but we're not too fussed for now. Have a rectangle, which is locked because apparently the lock copies as well. Bring that up. Chuck this under that and group those together. And then suddenly we've got like an Eventbrite style top level nav. And you could maybe not have the shadow on this one and just have the line instead. And make it. Have they still got this click through? Toggle click through. That was always really helpful. So they have the single click through where if you group two things, so this rectangle here, which represents this little line, this background of that, and then the actual menu symbol are grouped, but you never want to, like by default, I don't want to mess with a group. I actually want to explicitly go over to the menu on the left and say, yeah, I want to mess with this group now. While I'm playing with the two individual components, it's really annoying because you have to you click on it. It assumes you want the group, then you have to double click to get through the group and into the thing you want. So each group you can right click and then they have toggle click through so that it will just ignore the fact that they're in a group. Then if I unclick it, the next time I go to click on that icon, I'll get the group first, and then I have to move the whole thing. Which later on, when you're working in, once you've got everything as you want it, is probably what you want. But when you're just like working out where to place this thing, you probably don't. So it's super helpful that exists. So again, I've still got my little mirror app here working. I don't know for anyone who was watching earlier in the stream. So this is actually like, it's not looking awful. Like from scratch, this is kind of a usable thing. And it's interesting that neither event, so they have just popped this here. I'm guessing that they've tested whether people need a prompt for that. So this is menu I've put up here, but you could have, I'm just gonna, excuse me. I want to just get into that symbol. Like I just want to go to it. Do I always have to go over to the right hand side of the screen to do edit source? Can I get to a symbol? Can I get to editing a symbol from here? Maybe there is a... Looking for a keyboard shortcut for their edit source. No. Okay. but I know I can do that and that. I just want this bit of text. That's all I wanted. And then take it back up to here. Paste. I'm guessing they've probably like, I mean, if it's Eventbrite, they probably tested something like that and tried it. But just to say like, that's different. Like that's how you get to your options. But then they have separated it out. And I'm guessing that this, like, is it sticky? It's not sticky, but it doesn't move. And that symbol goes away on desktop. Yeah. Okay. Like it doesn't have to be a menu. It could be like event options, but it is the menu because event options, because there's a bunch of settings pages, so that's probably not right. But at least it, I don't know, having the word menu twice sucks. Maybe they just had so many meetings where they're like, well, should there be any text? What happens when you hover over it? It must be like, is there any accessibility prompts on it or anything? Let's see what they called it. Oh, it's gone away. About toggle. Where's that? Is there like a nav element for it? No, I can never remember like the accessibility stuff where that stuff has to be anyway. It has to be within this because that's. They've just called it the sidebar toggle. You could put like open menu maybe. Event menu. I don't like what Ticket Tailor did. I don't like the idea of just shoving it next to the thing here, because I'm assuming this happens wherever you are. So if you're in waitlist signups, then we go in here to, I don't know, tickets. Like I'm guessing that's just always next to that header. Yeah. I mean, it's consistent, so that's fair enough, but like, what do any of these have sub hierarchies? Like, can you go to a page within a page here? Checkout form and then edit something within here. Edit global checkout form. Oh, wait. That many changed. Whoa. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, okay. So settings is actually in settings. This. Oh, okay. So okay, right. Okay. So the menu on the left is contextual to. So I can go into an event. I can go into my event. The menu on the left here is contextual because of the fact I'm in an event. If I go to settings, I start here, and now the menu is contextual to the fact that I'm in settings. But this menu changes to box office settings, not just settings. So when you pick settings here, the thing you actually, the text you see is different. Okay, right, that's, okay, fine. Man, this is so hard, this stuff. Like, every company has just got like a, and it, like, just to clarify, like, I'm not trying to poke negative holes in anyone's stuff. Like, we all, like, this is super hard. Trying to keep this stuff consistent over a bunch of developer teams, like, it's super hard. Like, I'm not picking holes. I'm just looking at it. Like, it's just what it is. I'm sure they want to have the most amazing experience for everyone, and we all do. So, yeah, it's just tough to keep it consistent all the time, or you make different choices. Like, and I'm not definitely not shitting on anyone's work or their choices or anything like that. It's all, you get nothing but love from me, I assure you. There are a couple. There are a couple of apps that suck, but not in like ticketing or anything like that. Like some there's some like user hostile things out there, but on the whole, most sites seem to be like always trying to do the right thing. And I'm like, you know, the ones I mean, where they're trying to get you like using those like dark patterns to try and get you to buy stuff you don't want and shit like that. Like, we haven't got any time for that. Come on, be cool, be cool. Like travel companies pop out a lot for that, like selecting things that you didn't really need to buy, trying to buy cheap airline tickets and end up with a hire car you didn't want. Anyway, right, let's stay on focus. Okay, so now we have this that works on here, and like this could already become a new component. So like we can group these three. Well, it's already a group, so we can just turn this into a component. Oh, does it do that thing where if I create a symbol, not a component, I call this is like admin. So I call the other one top level. So this would be like, let's just call it side. Let's just call it side menu. Because we're then going to have those look the same on mobile and desktop in the same way that Eventbrite does, just to keep it straightforward. Because I'm hoping you can just use the same, like literally the same DOM elements. Because on a bunch of these, you have to recreate your menu twice in the DOM. Admin side menu. Toggle bar, I'm going to call this. I'm just making shit up now. Admin side menu toggle bar. And so we are gonna, when you're in that symbol, did it take that group with it? Because that's what it used to do. Oh no, it didn't. It used to when you, maybe this is a misremembrance, remembering, but you used to click on a group and make a symbol. It would make a symbol, and in the symbol was a group at the top, which I never wanted. So I'm glad it didn't do that. So we want to decide how this stuff moves. So here. If we just don't adjust content on resize, what does it do? So this is now a symbol. Let's move it over to here as well and do this. Okay, so that's not right. we don't want that. So let's go. So here we want that to stay fixed. We want all of this to always be fixed. And we want these to stay fixed to the left edge as well. We don't want those to move. Okay, so if we go back to here. But again, it would be cool. My earlier question was, can I lock the height of this? So now I can move this over to here. So we're only ever just adjusting the width of the rectangle element. Which, yeah, that seems to get longer, which is great. Can I say to this thing, I can say to this individual version, fix its height when this one gets done, but can I prevent someone from editing the height of this ever? I don't think so. Oh, crap. Don't know what that does, but it just seems to completely move everything the way around. Okay. Let's just Google that. Sketch app lock height. Lock the ratio. So I can force them to keep aspect ratio. That's cool. That's kind of all that layouty stuff. Okay, like, I don't think so. But that doesn't matter too much. It's just going to save someone doing like that and just have it being like annoyingly off and no one noticing. Because it has set to original size, but not set to original height. So you can't lock these here. So now... No, that's not quite what I mean. That's not what that means. That means when this parent is being resized. I could just lock it, I guess. But then you can't move it. Whatever. That's just diligence, I guess. Okay, cool. So that is that. And we've got some symbols for some stuff. That's a symbol. None of this stuff is a symbol. But I am fucking starving and we're nearly at 2 hours. So I think I'm going to knock it on the head. At that. Like, I hope people have found this in any way useful or interesting. I know that often we do Rails coding stuff on this channel, so if UI design stuff isn't interesting, let me know. Or if people want more of this stuff, maybe we could do, I don't know, could do some of the Sunday streams about UI design if people are into it, because we need the rest of the UI. And I was super grateful to learn more about Sketch, which I have missed because I actually really like using it, and it's just a really good app. And I know that people are really into Figma now, but this is cool. If your whole team works on Mac, you save a bunch of money by using Sketch, because Figma is expensive. So other than that, I'm going to wrap up. I am still going to do the stream tomorrow. So that is 10:30 a.m. UK time. Going to keep going on the Rails coding side of things. Probably make it a short one, I should imagine, just because I've done this one tonight. But that will be back on the coding side. And then I will try and do another one of these design ones at another point in the future, if people seem to like it. So you can subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's Sunday Club. Sunday is spelled with an A-E. It's down there below me on the screen right now. And also I keep forgetting, and someone keeps reminding me to promote the Twitch channel. This is on Twitch, and it is twitch.tv/Sunday Club. All one word, spelled with an A-E like that. Yeah, thanks a lot for anyone who's dropped by or anyone who watches this on YouTube later. Have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you another time.